things are not going well for India at the Rio Olympics. The organizers now threaten to cancel Sports Minister Vijay Goel's accreditation if unaccredited people accompany him into playing areas and not end their aggressive and rude behavior. Saina Nehwal and PV Sindhu make a winning start to the Rio Olympics campaigns. India's shuttle queens win their respective openers in straight sets. Both next play on Sunday. Mixed news for hockey fans. Indian men's team sealed their quarterfinal berth despite losing to Netherlands. Women's team too lose but have a slim chance of making it to the last 8. Sania Mirza and partner Rohan Bopana beat Aussie duo of Stossor and Pearce in mixed doubles to move into the quarters. Duo to face Andy Murray and Heather Watson in last 8. And the most decorated Olympian of all time wins yet another gold. Baltimore's Bullet Michael Phelps wins the 200 meters individual medley, grabs his 22nd gold at the Olympics, his 26th medal overall. Now, India may not have been winning medals at Rio Olympics, but as far as controversies are concerned, India are definitely leading the race. India's Sports Minister Vijay Goel and his team are now accused of ignoring rules and barging into non-access areas. Take a look at this exclusive story.
India's Sports Minister, the senior-most Indian government representative at the Rio Olympic Games. A man expected to keep India's image spotless and its reputation untainted on this biggest of international arenas, has ended up a veritable international embarrassment for India. There could be reason to believe the minister has done just the opposite of upholding India's name. According to the Rio Olympics Organising Committee, Minister Vijay Goel was accompanied by a team not accredited to access certain areas and had behaved in a rude and aggressive manner when stopped. India today has accessed the letter to India's Chief of Mission by Sarah Peterson, Continental Manager for Rio 2016, in which she lists the multiple complaints of rude behavior by the minister's staff. She writes, and I quote,
"Should our protocol team be made aware of further examples of this type of behavior, the accreditation of your Minister of Sports will be cancelled and his privileges at the Olympic Games withdrawn."
The angry minister has hit back, telling India today there was no way for him to access certain areas without volunteers.
मेरे बारे में कुछ भी नहीं कहा गया कि मैंने कोई मिसबिहेवियर किया या किसी रूल को फ्लाउट किया गया। कुछ जो बात की जा रही है वो स्टाफ के बारे में बात किया जा रही है। जाहिर तौर पर मुझे कुछ पता लगेगा तो मैं जरूर उस बात को देखूंगा।
The controversy is building into an embarrassing face-off, with the Indian Chief of Mission also hitting back at the Rio organizers, accusing them of making an issue out of a non-issue. Rakesh Gupta claims that the minister inadvertently accessed the field of play without a required pass, but left when he was stopped. With no medals yet at Rio, has a misbehaving Mantri stolen the spotlight, only to damage India's reputation abroad? With Boria Majumdar in Rio, Bureau Report, India Today.
We are now joined live by Minister Vijay Goel himself. Sir, thanks for joining us on India Today. आप पहले बता सकते हैं ये कंट्रोवर्सी क्या है? सुनने में आया है कि आपकी टीम नॉन एक्सेस एरियाज में गई थी और कुछ रूड बिहेवियर भी करा था ऑर्गेनाइजर्स के साथ।
ओलंपिक से जिस तरह की खबरें आ रही हैं और विवाद की बात की जा रही है, ऐसा कोई विवाद नहीं है। पहली बात, एक स्पोर्ट्स मिनिस्टर के नाते उन्होंने मेरे बारे में ऐसा कुछ नहीं कहा है कि कोई मिसबिहेव है या कुछ गलत किया गया है। अगर उन्होंने ये बात की है तो यह है कि भी कुछ स्टाफ ने शायद उनको शिकायत मिली है कि कोई मिसबिहेव किया हो, वो मेरी नॉलेज में नहीं है। जैसे ही मेरी नॉलेज में आएगा जाहिर तौर पर मैं पता करूंगा।
सर, आप कह रहे हैं आपकी नॉलेज में नहीं है, बट जो इंसिडेंट सबसे ज्यादा सामने आ रहा है वो ये है कि बिना परमिशन के आपकी टीम एक्सेस एरिया में गई थी, हॉकी टीम को कांग्रेचुलेट करने के लिए पिच पर उतरी थी। ये रूल्स को इग्नोर ही क्यों करना है?
जब हॉकी की टीम जीती थी तो हॉकी की टीम जीतने के बाद उनको बधाई देने के लिए फील्ड पे जाने के लिए एक पास की ज़रूरत होती है। वो पास बनवाया गया, उसके बाद ही हम हॉकी की टीम को कांग्रेचुलेट करने के लिए फील्ड में गए। तो उसमें भी किसी तरह से नियमों का उल्लंघन नहीं थी, कोई रूल फ्लाउटेशन नहीं थी। तो मैं समझता हूँ कि ये छोटी चीज़ को बड़ा विवाद बनाया जा रहा है। इस बड़े विवाद को बनाने की कोई आवश्यकता नहीं है। अभी हमने कोशिश की है कि ओलंपिक रियो के अंदर हम खेलों को बढ़ावा देने के लिए यहाँ पर आए हैं और जितने ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा इंडियन टीम्स को हम चीयर अप कर सकते हैं वो चीयर अप कर रहे हैं और उनकी जो मदद हो सकती है वो हम करने की यहाँ पर कोशिश कर रहे हैं।
All right, sir. Thank you so much for joining us on India Today. Let's turn our attention to some on-court action now. India off to a flying start in badminton with Saina Nehwal and PV Sindhu and Srikanth all winning their singles matches in the group stage. Now, Saina was up against local girl Vincente Lohani. It was a neck-and-neck affair in the opening game, tied at 15 all at one point. But Saina held her nerves to clinch the opening game 21-17 in 20 minutes. The 2012 Olympic bronze medalist looked more comfortable in the second game, but she once again had to battle her way to a victory. It is a group format and a winning start is crucial. Saina's next group match is on 14th August. Meanwhile, PV Sindhu was the first singles shuttler on court and she dominated proceedings right from the start against Laura Sarosi. She led 11-3 at the drinks break in the first game, and from there on, the Hyderabad ace went on to take the game 21-8. It was evenly contested affair in the initial stages of the second game, but it was Sindhu who maintained her lead in the match. Eventually, Sindhu proved to be too good for her Hungarian opponent. Her next group match will be against Lee Michel of Canada on Sunday as well. Meanwhile, Srikanth too won his match with ease. He beat Lino Munoz of Mexico in his Group H match. Srikanth won the match 21-11. 21-17. So a comfortable win for Indian shuttlers, at least in the singles matches on the opening day. Now India put on a brave fight against world number 2 Netherlands but lost 1-2. The men in blue got 5 penalty corners in the last minute to equalize but failed to convert any of those penalty corners. After the first 2 goalless quarters, Netherlands drew the first blood. Rogier Hoffman tapped in the rebound to put the Dutch in front. 6 minutes later, India equalized. The Blue Brigade converting a penalty corner via Raghunath striking home. The third quarter ended at 1-all. Netherlands kept attacking the Indian goal, but Srijesh kept them at bay. The Indian captain made sensational saves to keep his team in the contest. However, Netherlands finally managed to beat Srijesh with their third penalty corner. In the dying seconds of the game, India had a chance to level the scores. The men in blue got 5 penalty corners back-to-back at the very end, but failed to convert any of those. Netherlands went on to win the match 2-1. Having already qualified for the quarterfinals after 36 long years, India now take on Canada today in the final group game. The match will determine whom they will play in the last 8 or the quarterfinals. Meanwhile, the Indian women's team lost their third match in 4 games played at the Olympics. USA thrashed India 3-0 to take their points tally to 12. Meanwhile, India are languishing at the bottom of the table with just 1 point. India now only have a mathematical chance of progression to the quarters. The women in blue now need to beat Argentina and hope Australia beat Japan for them to enter the last 8 of the competition. Now, badminton results from the doubles section now weren't as good for India as lone women's doubles team of Jwala Gutta and Ashwini Ponappa lost their first match in Group A. The Japanese team they faced were clearly the better one as they led midway 10-8 in the first game. They continued the pressure, taking a commanding 16-12 lead, eventually going on to win 21-15. The Japanese asserted even more pressure in the second game, taking a 14-6 lead and then going on to win the match 21-10. And it was the same fate for the men's doubles team as well. They went down in their first group game also. They went down to an Indonesian team 21-18, 21-13. Now let's take a look at the second round matches in which Indian shuttlers will participate today. And after the disappointing loss in their first match, the duo of Jwala Gutta and Ashwini Ponappa will look to make amends against Dutch pair of Muskens and Slena Peak. The match begins at 5:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Meanwhile, the men's doubles team of Manu Atri and Sumit Reddy will take on Chinese duo of Chai Biao and Hong Wei. Some good news from the tennis courts as India's mixed doubles team of Sania Mirza and Rohan Bopanna entered the quarterfinals of the mixed doubles event at the Olympics. The fourth-seeded pair from India broke their opponents in the ninth game and gained a crucial advantage, but the Australian pair also broke back and denied India the advantage. But that was it, as the Indian pair closed the next two games and won the set 7-5 in 36 minutes. The Aussie duo's serve were broken once again in the second set as Sania and Bopanna cruised into the last eight with a score of 7-5, 6-4. Sania and Rohan have been handed a tough quarterfinal clash as they will be up against British pair of Andy Murray and Heather Watson. Let's take a look at the other Indians who will be in action a little later today, and the archer Atanu Das will be competing in the pre-quarterfinal of the men's recurve individual event. 22nd ranked Atanu will take on 8th ranked Seung Yun Lee in the last 16. The event is expected to begin at 5:45 p.m. this evening. In boxing, Vikas Krishnan will feature in the pre-quarters of the 75 kg middleweight category. Vikas will be up against Turkish boxer Sipal Onda. News from the shooting range now, and Indian shooters will look for redemption today as Gagan Narang, Chen Singh, Gurpreet Singh and Mairaj Khan are all in action today. Gagan Narang and Chen Singh will be competing in the shooting 50-meter rifle prone event. Gagan in particular will be looking to make amends after finishing a lowly 23rd in the 10 meters air rifle qualification. The qualification round begins 5:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time this evening. Meanwhile, shooter Gurmeet Singh will also be in action today. Gurmeet is participating in the 25 meters rapid fire pistol event. The qualification round begins at 8:40 this evening. India's lone shooter in the men's skeet, Mairaj Ahmed Khan's qualification round will begin at 6 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Now the focus will shift to athletics today as many Indian athletes will be in action today. Now national record holder in discus throw Vikas Gaura will be in action in the qualification round. The 2014 Commonwealth Games gold medalist will look to better his personal record of 66.28 meters to stand a chance to qualify for the finals. Meanwhile, sprinter Duty Chand will be participating in the 100-meter heats later today. Duty was in news in Rio after she lashed out at the officials for taking business class tickets while she was forced to fly economy, where she could not even sleep properly. But focus now shifts to the on-field action as she will be aiming to qualify for the finals in her maiden Olympic Games. Meanwhile, 3 Indians will be participating in the 20-kilometer race walk finals today. Rower Dattu Bhokanal will also be in action in the rowing men's single sculls semi-final later today.